I am Peter Trent, representing the Dev Samurai team. Welcome to Agile Test Academy, partner with Agile Test, comprehensive test management for Jira. Agile Test Academy is a video series that will teach you everything you need to learn about software development, specifically Agile development. Continuing the previous video of choosing the right software process to implement, today we will learn everything about Agile software development, 4 values of Manifesto and its principles, Agile Methodologies, and Agile Testing. Agile development is a lightweight method as we discussed briefly in the video Day 1 of our Agile Test Academy series. The Agile Manifesto was created back in 2001, which had 4 values and 12 principles to make the software development process more agile. Firstly, let's talk about the 4 core values of the manifesto. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. The manifesto values people over processes and tools. Processes and tools cannot predict or solve all the problems that may arise in the software development. Such problems are overcome when individuals sit together, discuss, and find a solution to the problems. The manifesto promotes having competent people working together effectively. Working software over comprehensive documentation. This principle values working software over comprehensive documentation. We should deliver software with the basic features as soon as possible and get feedback from the users and stakeholders. Then we should improve the software based on the feedback. This is better than spending a lot of time writing long documents that may not reflect the user's needs. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Agile emphasizes on taking constant feedback from customer throughout the development process, so that whatever is being developed is also being seen by the customer. Responding to change over following a plan. When software is developed with agility, we start with a plan which gives us enough idea of the direction we want to move. Then as we proceed and see new events unfolding in front of us, we incorporate those realities into the ongoing work. So these are the 4 values of Agile Manifesto. We now move on to the principles which emphasize collaboration, flexibility, customer satisfaction, and iterative development. Our highest priority is to satisfy our customers through early and continuous delivery of value software. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development. Agile processes harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. Deliver working software frequently, with a preference for shorter timescales. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the process. Build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support their needs, and trust them to get the job done. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversation. Working software is the primary measure of the process. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. Agile Methodologies. There are 3 Agile methodologies I want to introduce you to today: SCRUM, Kanban, and Extreme Programming, can be shortened as XP. The SCRUM approach is a general Agile method, but its focus is on managed iterative development, rather than specific technical approaches to Agile software engineering. SCRUM does not prescribe the use of programming practices such as pair programming and task-first development. It can therefore be used with more technical Agile approaches such as XP, and to provide a management framework for the project. There are 3 phases in SCRUM. The first is an outline planning phase where you establish the general objectives for the project and design the software architecture. This is followed by a series of sprint cycles where each cycle develops an increment of the system. Finally, the project closure phase wraps up the project, completes required documentation such as system help frames and user manuals, and assesses the lessons learned from the project. SCRUM is a widely adopted Agile framework with several advantages, including its clear structure, iterative development with regular feedback, and adaptability to changing requirements. However, its implementation can be complex, relying heavily on effective communication and a willingness to shift from traditional practices. Additionally, while SCRUM's flexibility is valuable, it requires careful scope management and prioritization to prevent project scope from becoming unmanageable. The second Agile methodology is Kanban. Kanban involves using a visual board to represent the flow of work items through different stages of a process. The main goal of Kanban is to optimize and streamline the flow of work, reduce waste, and improve overall productivity. Kanban offers significant advantages in terms of flexibility, adaptability, visual management, transparency, and waste reduction. It's particularly well suited for teams dealing with changing priorities and a need for continuous flow. However, its lack of prescribed roles and practices can require clear communication and customization within the team. Additionally, Kanban's emphasis on flexibility might lead to less predictability compared to methodologies with fixed iterations. Last but not least, extreme programming is perhaps the best known and most widely used of the Agile methods because the approach was developed by pushing recognized good practice such as iterative development to extreme levels. These illustrative models are created using Mocky app by Dev Samurai team via Mocky for Confluence and Mocky for Jira. In extreme programming, requirements are expressed as scenarios, called user stories, which are implemented directly as a series of tasks. Programmers work in pairs and develop tests for each task before writing the code. All tests must be successfully executed when new code is integrated into the system. And there is a short time gap. In an extreme programming process, customers are intimately involved in specifying and prioritizing system requirements. These requirements are not specified as lists of required system functions. Rather, the system customer is part of the development team and discusses scenarios with other team members. Extreme programming, shortened for XP, in the Agile context offers substantial benefits including superior code quality, frequent releases, close customer involvement, and effective collaboration and knowledge sharing. However, its adoption might be hindered by the learning curve and the resource intensity of its technical practices, potential documentation and scope management challenges, and the need for skilled personnel and alignment with the organization's culture. There are differences between Agile Testing, SCRUM, Kanban, and Extreme Programming. While they all fall under the umbrella of Agile methodologies and share some common principles, they have distinct approaches and focuses within the realm of software development. Agile testing is not a methodology on its own, but rather an approach to software testing that aligns with the principles of Agile development. It emphasizes collaborative testing, early and continuous testing, and adapting to changing requirements. Agile testing involves testers working closely with developers, customers, and other stakeholders to ensure the testing activities are integrated throughout the development process. It also emphasizes automating tests to facilitate frequent and efficient testing. In the initial phase, we gather inputs from stakeholders and users as it assists the test engineers in setting the objectives for the next life cycle. Then all stakeholders come together to plan the schedule of the testing process and deliverables. The feature will go under review to determine whether they are ready to go live or not. For daily Scrum, this stage includes every stand-up morning meeting to catch up on the status of testing and set the goal for the entire day. And the last phase of the Agile life cycle is the Agility Review meeting. It involves weekly meetings with stakeholders to regularly evaluate and assess progress against goals. Agile testing strengths lie in providing early feedback, adapting to changes, and fostering collaborations. It ensures better alignment between testing and development, leading to higher quality software. However, it can face challenges such as resource constraints, documentation upkeep, and maintaining test automation scripts. Balancing these pros and cons is essential for successfully implementing Agile testing in an Agile development context. That is the end of Day 2 Agile Software Development, the Manifesto, Principles and Methodologies, in the video series of Agile Test Academy created by the Dev Samurai team. This series is partnered with Agile Test Comprehensive Test Management for Jira, and I would like to give credits to Mocky App via Mocky for Confluence and Mocking for Jira for creating these wonderful illustrations. Thank you for listening. We look forward to bringing you more interesting videos. Please give us a like and comment down below any queries. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to get notified about any upcoming videos. Ciao!